In Nigeria, we have the political class and the people, right? And the political class have always been able to stay united in spite of whatever differences they tell us that we have. They don't seem to have. When it comes to corruption in Nigeria, there's no tribe, there's no religion, there's no ethnicity, there's no gender, nothing. They all work together. When it comes to giving us good, bad governance, they all work together. Those divides that they tell us that we have, they don't seem to have them. And whenever citizens come together to work towards something or working on something or having a common purpose, guess what they always bring in? Religion, ethnicity, and all of that. And they are doing it again, all over again. The last one they did was during NSAS protest. When the Nigerian youth came together all over the country, they came together and with one voice they were saying NSAS. Guess what they used? Religion and ethnicity. And they used the religious leaders and the traditional rulers, the traditional leaders also, or rulers you might call them. And I remember the northern governors even did a meeting. They had a communique where they were saying to the traditional rulers and the religious rulers, well done for a job well done for using ethnicity and religion to divide the youth. Today, the youth, a good number of the youth and a lot of Nigerians are united behind Peter Obi. Guess what they are using? Religion and ethnicity. The same religion and ethnicity that they do not remember when they are giving you bad governance, when they are unleashing mayhem on you. They don't care. When they are doing their corruption, it doesn't divide them. All of a sudden, you're coming together, they are bringing it. And one of the things that they always use is to try to make people responsible for the violence that they unleash. The establishment, right now I'm going to call them the establishment, whether the main opposition, whether the ones in government, whether all of them, it's one political class. That right now they are saying Nigerians are taking their power back and seemingly wanting to decide who is it that becomes the next president and who are the people that go into office, the other political offices. And they are scared and they don't mind. They will come together, they will gang up against the people and do everything they can to make sure that they put spanners in the wheels. And what are they doing now? They are trying to make out that Peter Obi's supporters are sort of like violent. How? Where? When? That was the same thing they did during NSAS protest. Guess what they did? They kept saying, oh, the movement will be hijacked, the movement will be hijacked. And we kept saying to them, there's no hijacking of movement. See, we all saw the NSAS protesters, how they were very calm, how they will even protest, they will sweep the place, they will clean up. They did everything, you know, right, focus and all of that. Guess who brought in the talks? It was government. But police vehicles were used to transport dogs. We saw military vans being used to transport dogs. We saw their security vehicles, government vehicles were used to transport dogs to go and attack protesters and cause mayhem in the world. And what did they try to do? They were blaming the NSAS protesters. Now they are doing the same thing again with Peter Obi. And every time Peter Obi is coming out to apologize and caution his supporters and all of that, who decides who his supporter is? Is it because you just on your, either on your Twitter, either you wear t-shirt that says Peter Obi or on your Twitter handle, is that it? You think they will not bring their mayhem? By making Peter Obi to become, to become responsible for some of the things that maybe it is even, I won't be surprised, it is they that are doing it. By doing that, they're making him responsible for something he is not the cause of. And when they will bring their violence, which they normally will do, they will not say it's him. They will put him on the defensive and he will go on to be defending. I saw Reno Mokri and Sega Link, Shegu Awosanya, you know, coming out to say, and many others coming out to say that, oh, he's responsible for his supporters. The same Shegu Awosanya, Sega Link, and the same Reno Mokri that have been as vile can be. I've been on Twitter space since 2014. 2014, after my 40th birthday, was when I decided I was going to focus on Nigeria's issue. And I came out making the mass for Bring Back Our Girls. Guess what? I have been on the other side of facing the venom from the establishment. And I know what they can do. There's no kind of insult that they didn't give us. There's no kind of abuse, whatever. Whoever took responsibility for them. The same people who, that is their work. They have people e-talks, I call them e-talks, that they unleash on people to say all sorts of vile things, all sorts of insults, all sorts of attacks and what have you, are the ones who are now coming out in an orchestrated manner and saying that, oh, it's Peter Obi's supporters who are doing this. This government and the establishment, both as I call them the political class, the main opposition, the government, the establishment, they are all the same. And right now, they are scared of the people. If you've never thought that you mattered in this country, if you've never thought that you had the power, for the first time, you can see how jittery the establishment, the political class is. And it says a lot that indeed power belongs to you. Do not fall into their trap. Do not fall into the things that they've always done to keep the people divided. Remember, the poverty that the northern people face and the southern people face is the same. It's the same. The unemployment is the same. The lack of security is the same. The lack of access to good quality education is the same. The lack of good healthcare system is the same. We are all suffering. The suffering is not different. But the political class, they are enjoying, whether they are from the north or from the south. And isn't it time for us to say enough is enough? Thank you.